Hello folks, I'm Upfielder and 3 years ago I recorded a video for brand new Minecraft players, and ever since I've wanted to do a series, and today we are making a start. This is a series for absolute beginners, young and old alike, and we will be starting a brand new survival world on Minecraft Bedrock. I want to take you from surviving your first day through to digging your first mine, planting crops, fighting baddies, all the way to defeating the Ender Dragon and beyond. Each episode will be approximately 10 minutes long and designed around a specific goal or in-game progression. In episode 1, we will quickly talk about designing a brand new world and then how I go about surviving day 1. For specific controls or help with recipes, I will leave links to my website upfielder.com in the description below. I promise you that's the longest intro of the entire series. Let's dive right in. So the first thing we're going to do on the main menu is click play. That's going to take us to a screen here where we have worlds, realms and servers. Realms and servers are basically multiplayer play. In this we're going to do worlds, which is offline single player worlds, safe if you want to let your kids go wild, whereas realms and servers, they can interact with other people. On worlds, we're going to click create new world. We're going to ignore all the advertisements from Microsoft. This stuff all costs money, and we're going to click create new world. Okay, from here then we have a bunch of options. Firstly, we're going to give our world a name, and then below that we have the game mode. We're going to play survival. That's where we have to deal with hunger and mobs and things like that attacking us. We also have creative, which is like playing Lego with all the bricks and no danger. Below that we have the difficulty. If you click on each one, it will tell you about the difficulty. I am going to set it to hard, makes it a little bit more difficult. We're going to ignore hardcore because if you die, that's the end of the world. Into advanced then, leave the world seed as it is. There are millions upon millions. It controls how each world looks. And like I said, just leave that as default. We are going to tick show coordinates to on. That makes it easier to navigate your world and go back to other places. What we're next going to do is turn fire spreads to off. Now, if this is on and you build out of wood and there's something like a lightning storm, it can burn down your build. So I always turn it off. Then the only other thing I'm going to change is the simulation distance. This is how far you can see around you and how far the game keeps processing things. I would recommend leaving it as default. I've got quite a beefy computer, so I'm putting it up to 12 chunks, but that can really slow down your game. Everything else we will leave as default. Go back to general. Happy with everything here? Simply click create. Now, this can take a little while, but what is happening is your world is loading, and with any luck, you will load into what's called a plains biome. And that we have. A plains biome is basically grass that you can see around you. You'll have some trees and probably some water. Minecraft does try to load you into this biome, so odds are that's what you'll get. If you're very unlucky, you will load into a different biome. You want to try and find a plains biome, and that'll make your life a little bit easier. Now, I've just gone slightly higher up so I can have a good look around my world. I can see a cow down to the bottom left. I can see a couple of trees over there. There was an ocean behind us, a river in front of us. That's some spruce wood off to the distance, a taiga biome as it's called. That over there, I believe, is a jungle biome. Don't worry, I'm going to be covering things quickly, but we'll expand on them in future episodes. This is how to survive day 1. Now, our goal for day 1 is to find some sheep because we need 3 pieces of wool, and to find some trees because we need some logs. And what we want to do is craft a bed. I was going to say a bench. We want to craft a bed so we can sleep at night, and that way we're pretty safe from mobs. Now, as I swim, I'll just quickly talk about the health and the hunger down the bottom. The hearts are your health. Less hearts means closer to death. And the meat kind of chunk icon on the right-hand side is your hunger. The menu I open there is the crafting menu. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Because we are on hard difficulty, you can die from hunger, so keep an eye on that. Killing the pigs, the chickens, the cows that we're seeing here, that's going to help with your hunger problem. And you can also break the grass to get grass seeds and to grow wheat and make bread and things like that. The pace of these tutorials is going to be pretty quick. Like I say, I will leave some detailed instructions about controls and things like that in the description below. So step 1 is to get some wood, and where better? There we have sheep, 2 sheep. And for a bed, we need the wall to be the same color. That's important. So find a tree and start punching it, which might seem unusual, but you can punch blocks of wood out. It takes a little bit of time. And what we're going to do is we're going to craft some tools, and it's going to be very quick, like I say, but go to the website, you'll see a little bit more detail, and you'll soon get used to this. So we've got some logs, and we need to turn this into planks. So open your crafting menu. We can see our crafting options. We can toggle things that we can craft and things that we can't. Things that we can't have that red background. So our goal is to craft a crafting table, and for that we need some planks, which is the, if I go back into it in a moment, is the oak planks was the one on the left hand side. So craft some planks. We picked up a stick which gave us torches that we can't craft. So oak planks, click on it, and then on this right hand side here, if you just simply click, now 4 planks is enough for a crafting table, but we will craft a few more. Okay, we've got some, click on crafting table and then craft yourself a table. Now we only have 4 crafting slots here. If you place down your crafting table and click onto it, you'll see we have 9 crafting slots, and we can craft a lot more, things like swords and axes and what have you. Our goal here is to craft an axe. Now you see we need sticks, that's why we can't craft it. So if we craft some sticks, there we go, and we'll craft a few more, because we're going to craft a sword, a pickaxe, which is good for mining, and an axe, which is good for things like breaking the crafting table because it's made of wood, or trees. Now wooden tools are rubbish, they don't last very long, they are very slow. We will talk about progression to stone, to copper, to iron more in future videos. Now we have these, we need some wool. We've already got some logs, but we need some wool. So we are going to kill the sheep. That gives us 1 wool and 2 bits of raw mutton. That's going to be good for our hunger. Just a heads up that running uses up your hunger. So you'll notice I am walking at the moment, I am not running. And that's because I am in hard mode and you can die from the hunger. We've got our second sheep here. As I said, it's important that we need 3 bits of wool in the same color. Now, later on, you can get wool without killing the sheep. You can get it with something called shears. But for that, we are going to need iron, and that is a little bit further in our future. So for now, we are going to have to kill sheep. If you're a vegetarian, I am very, very sorry. We're going to get a few more logs here. The leaves will despawn, but only when you have removed basically all the log blocks. It's a little bit more complex than that, but if there's any logs there, then some leaves will remain. As those leaves despawn, they will give you sticks and saplings. If you want to place down a sapling, and I will place it there where the logs were, then eventually that tree will regrow. Trees don't regrow the same every time. They're random. A little bit useful for you. Now, what we're going to do as we walk around here, and we're looking for our 3rd sheep, and we're just having a good look around our world, see what's about. Again, we'll talk about biomes in future. We need a 3rd sheep, and we're going to collect things as we go along. We've got grass on the side there. As I said, you can get grass seeds and you can make wheat. The orange things here are pumpkins. Actually not that great as a food source, but they will come in handy when we find something called villagers, and we can do some trading with villagers. So we will take those because we can get the pumpkin seeds. Now, I talked about the hearts and the meat and what have you, but you may have noticed, actually, before we do that, this here is a zombie. It's the first of the sort of aggressive, angry mobs that will attack you. Now, it's daylight. He doesn't have a helmet on. As he stepped into the sun, he started to burn. Daytime, you're broadly safe. Not completely safe, but broadly safe. The bubbles are oxygen. If you go underwater, you will run out of oxygen and you will drown. So just come up for air. We're just looking around for a sheep now. There was a white one over here, but he has despawned. On Minecraft Bedrock, things spawn and despawn a little bit more aggressively than if you play Minecraft Java version, which is on PC only. We have a chicken. They will give us feathers and eggs, but we don't need to kill those at this moment in time. We can see the sun is slowly moving over to the west, so it rises in the east and sets in the west. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? So we have about 10 minutes of daylight to do this for day 1, and then about 10 minutes of darkness, I think. I think a full day is about 20 minutes. So we really don't want the nighttime because we don't have any armor. Wooden tools are rubbish. We basically, with hard difficulty, will almost certainly die. Just a tip though, if you cannot find a third piece of wool, what you can do is basically just dig into a very small space in one of these sort of cliff sides here, like dig yourself a tiny little hole, lock it up, and then basically just look at your watch, time 10 minutes when it gets dark, and when you come back out, it will be daylight again. There could be mobs, so be a little bit careful when you come back out, but hopefully we will find a third white sheep. We're just going to keep hunting around here. No point killing the baby sheep. They will not give you anything. So we're just going to ignore the little baby sheep there. And have we got one? Did we get one over here? Yes, one just over there to the right. This is our third sheep. So if we swim over, again, the oxygen there going down rather quickly. Later on in the game, you can get things that stop that going down or make it go down slower. We're going to kill this one. We're going to end up with 3 wool and 6 mutton. So we need a few more oak planks, and to craft a bed we need to place down our crafting table, and there we go, white bed, and click 3 planks and 3 pieces of wool. This is perfect. This is going to make survival so much simpler for you because you can simply sleep as it gets dark. Now it will get dark when the sun sets into the west, so we have a little bit of time to do a little bit of exploration now. We're not going to go into progression of stone tools in this video. We'll do that next and mining, but we grabbed a little bit of sugarcane. From sugarcane, you can get sugar and paper, neither of which are useful at this time, but it just saves us finding it later on. Although saying that, sugarcane is pretty common. We have more pumpkins over there. Now, one of the reasons I don't run is you will often find rather large holes in your Minecraft world, and falling can definitely kill you, so tread carefully. You've noticed we've been breaking oak logs. If we break this one, we get some new recipes in the top right hand corner. This is a birch tree. It's a lighter kind of wood. Basically does very similar things, just gives you different variants. This on the ground here, this brown stuff, is leaf litter. It's useful for decoration, and it's also useful as a fuel source for when we make a furnace, which will be in video 2. You make a furnace and then you can cook that raw mutton into cooked meat, and that is much better for your hunger. You can eat raw meat, it's just not very good. Doesn't satisfy you for very long. And this here, we have a little bit of time, so this little sort of stone with black in it is coal ore, and again, that's another fuel source. We can also make torches to light up areas, and again, we'll talk about that more in the future. In the next video, we're going to go and do a little bit of mining. We're going to swap out our wooden tools for stone tools, which are quicker and way more kind of resilient. They have much better health. And then we're just going to wait for the sun to set. You can sleep in 2 different scenarios. One is when it gets dark, so when the sun touches the horizon there. And number 2 is if you have a thunderstorm. If it's a thunderstorm, it will get dark and mobs will spawn. Put your bed down, you can sleep and get rid of the thunderstorm. But we are going to sleep, and there you go, it tells you we are going to sleep, and that will be it for day 1, and I will be back with you for video 2. If you enjoyed the video, hit like, consider subscribing, and go check out appbuilder.com. I've just added a bedrock build planning tool. This is over 100 builds with layer by layer build guides optimized for phones and PCs, and it allows you to build some absolutely fantastic houses and statues and all kinds of things, and the library is expanding day by day. I'm AppBuilder. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.